All right, everybody, welcome to
And stuff.
Today we are taking a look at Absolute Superman 1. Is it good? Is it bad? We're going to tell you all in 2 seconds, but it might be interesting what we get into. We'll talk to you all in a second. Here we go.
I'm telling you, it is the definition between an entrepreneur and an employee. The employee goes to the cliff, looks over the cliff, says, is there a balloon down there? Do I be safe? What happens if it hurts? What if I land on my neck? The entrepreneur, they said, we need to jump off the cliff, backs up 10 feet to get a fucking run.
This town needs an enema.
Fuck.
Julio, where's Commissioner Gordon?
Come on, you guys take beating.
Too stupid!
You don't really think you'll win. Things change.
You got me? Who's got you?
Everything changed. And anyone who tells you different is just lying.
You know who this is? This is Mark motherfucking Sylvester.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And just like the white smoke has risen and a new pope has been crowned, if that's what they call it. I don't know, I'm not Catholic, but here we are.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, but I'm damn close.
There you go. In my
Damn
book, you
close.
are.
Here we are getting ready to review another book, which has been kind of our thing lately, but I've been digging it. You know what this does, Sean? This kind of
You
gets
tell
us
me.
out. This gets us out of the basement a little bit, right? We're stuck in the basement of the
Yeah.
90s, which is fine. It's a great basement. You know, it's the man cave. Got lots of fun things to entertain us down here. Let's try to step out every once in a while, see what's going on in the real world, things that people are excited about. People seem to like this Ultimate Universe going on right now. We reviewed Batman. Ultimate Batman, was it earlier this year or later last year?
August or September, maybe October.
Was it that
Early.
long ago? Damn,
Yeah.
that's easy. Okay, time flies. And we liked it, right?
Yeah.
Fair assessment about it. We liked it. It was good. You know, it was a good take.
Yeah.
So
I
we're
liked it
like,
a lot.
honestly, I did. I liked that a lot. I think I gave it like an 8 or something. I haven't continued
Yeah.
reading it, but that's another story altogether because, I just don't have a lot of time to read. But we're like, why not take a chance on Ultimate Superman? We'll see if they can carry that goodwill over to this book. And we've got thoughts.
Mhm. And opinions.
Thoughts and
So you
opinions.
better listen to us.
The experts that we are. We'll let you know. But first, we're going to get into the chat and say hi to everybody. Mark Penguin was number 1 in the chat and number 1 in our hearts. That makes you my friend.
You're number one.
Yes, you are. And also, we know that when Mark's here, we play this.
So, Mr. Penguin,
A penguin is a bird that cannot fly. I am a man. I have a name.
And his name is Mark Penguin. Good to see you here, Mark. We also have Christopher Bouchard.
Bouchard.
What's going on? Coming in second, though, is Michael Pritchard said, I assume about assumptions. I like it.
Yes.
I do like that. Our man Twisted Dreams is in the house, and obviously we got to play this.
Subject's notes. The extraction theory papers. Am I the only one who did the reading?
Twisted Dreams is the only one that does a reading all the time.
Mhm.
You know, we'll do it every once in a while, but you know, Twisted Dreams, he does it.
Like if it's new, we'll read it. But like if it's been out forever, like we'll kind of, I'll go in my guts. Like, yeah, this happened.
And then we all know that Zach doesn't read it. You know, and then
Well,
maybe he does, but then he just gives spoilers.
and then he just fucking 2 steps over everything.
He's like, I know we have an entire show to do, and we got an hour left, but I'm gonna let you know everything about the book. My first thoughts.
Right here.
Like, all right, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, he's like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker's dad.
Member of the channel, Rick Saylor, is in the house.
Oh my God! I'm sorry! I can't stop coming! I'm sorry! Oh, it feels so good!
Oh, it feels so good to have the members in the chat tonight. Also, Rick Saylor is here. I don't know if he saw this, but this I saw this. I made a clip of it because it reminds me of him.
The common thread in all of my failed schemes is human stupidity. People are just too stupid to accept me as their leader.
It's Rick.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like straight up Rick.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Edwin's in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you, man.
How are you?
Duck Bacon as well. Hail Joe, Sean. Hail the chat. Hail you, my friend. Hope all is going well. Good to see you all here. All right, everybody. Let people know we're live. It is a Thursday. We're doing good. I don't know how many other people are streaming. I don't know how many other people are talking about Absolute Superman, but we are, for good or bad, and we'll be talking about that. But wherever you're at, like the button or hit the like button, share it out. Come over to YouTube. You know this the whole drill here. Hit the like button, subscribe, share it. Let people know we're live. Go into their DMs, go into their live chats, drop the link. You tell them whatever they're doing. It's not as important as what we're doing over here. And let's get going. You know what I'm saying? And I completely forgot to play our music. That's what was missing. Damn it.
Oh,
Damn it. Drop the ball on that again. Yeah, I'm so you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna do it anyway.
okay.
There we go. All
Yeah,
right.
play while I do the thing.
Yeah, see?
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, it feels better.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this started because we got some issues to go through and we got to talk about this book. It's feeling good. There's a new pope. I just got to say, it's just happening. Got new trade deals. All is good in the world, right? Welcome to
It's your favorite podcaster's favorite show about comics and art and stuff. Over 40 years in the bit consuming comics and collectibles. 25 years in the business on technicality. Editor extraordinaire, the Hispanic guy on paper, smoother than your days in underoos. Cool in the gang, Jersey's finest, Sean Ahrent. With me as always, my brother Not.
very talented, very sexy, very distinguished. Always narcissistic, but never vain. Sean Spinner, Rob Liefeld, and Junior Crown on look of all things 90s. Joseph Michael Sonntag, or Joe M Sonntag, if you prefer, as the Pope likes to call me, as he has returned, JMS, as the chat likes to call me, Ronan Joe. Welcome to the show, and as always, what an awesome show we have for you tonight, because we are talking about Absolute Superman #1, a very interesting take on the character. Some things I liked, some things I didn't like, some things I hated. We're going to jump into it right now. So let's get going. Let's pop this up. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. All right. Right off the bat, chat, if you haven't read this, I'll tell you at the end if you should. But if you have read it, let me know in the chat what you think of it. If you actually went out and purchased this, are you reading the Absolute Universe? I want to know, because Absolute Batman was pretty good. Does the new Pope call you JMS? Hopefully it's Ronan Joe, though. Yes, I mean, all the popes call me JMS. Like, that's the deal. It's a deal handed down, just like, you know, you Catholics seem to think that the Pope goes back to St. Peter, which I think they're...
Yeah, I have
whatever.
no idea. I can't tell you. All I know is I got the Marvel comic of Pope John Paul, and that's all that matters to me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, my point is, look, it's been handed down from Pope to Pope to Pope, all right? Way before I was born. It's like a prophecy. You know, they call me JMS, and that's just, it's going to continue. Whatever Pope happens to be the man wearing the white, they're going to call me JMS. It's just a deal. You know, I don't control the rules. I don't make the rules. I just abide by them. You know what I'm saying? Pizza's in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Not gonna lie, I probably won't read this. All right. I like it.
Okay.
Mike McMahon's in the house. Is Saint
Mike.
I like that. Put me up on the sainthood. Let's go. Let's go. Who's Jacob, you've been around long enough. You know. You
and
know.
your dry humor.
You know, my friend.
You got to spit on it before. Never mind.
New Pope, who dis? I don't know who the new Pope is. Leo the 14th
Leo.
or something.
Yeah.
Pope Leo from
Yeah.
Chicago. Chicago. You know what that means, though?
Deep dish.
That at least means that the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl here in the next couple of years. Right?
Maybe. I guess, yeah.
It has to be. And then there's going to be a curse on Green Bay Packers. That's
I'm
all
with
I'm
that.
excited about. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm with
Let's
that.
go. Let's go. All right. Absolute Superman. First thoughts, cover. Decent?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talented. You know, yeah. Nothing complaint, nothing to brag about. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't overwhelm you. The Jim Lee cover I had, the variant cover was all right. Let me show you guys here the Jim Lee variant cover. This was kind of just like, you know, when we talk about Jim Lee, when we talk about the Hush stuff, where we're like, you know, some of the stuff seems like a little lackluster. That's what I feel about Jim Lee's cover here. But I do like it. Just, I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying?
So that's a second print?
Second print cover. Yep. Okay. Sorry.
Wait, you know, yeah, because he's in color. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Look, it's fine.
It's all right. You know, it's
fine.
It's, you know,
that's one hell of a chin. You know what? That reminds me of the chin.
That chin
from the 90s, like after he came back to life, like from like Bobby Dagovich.
The long hair period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty. I think it might just be the rendering, but yeah, whatever.
Could be.
Yeah, the cover's fine. You know,
yeah.
Duck Bacon says phoned in by Jim Lee. I won't argue with you on that. You know, the Pope has something nationality. Peruvian. He lived here for 4 years, so he's not Chicagoan. They lied to me. Look at that, already lying. Craziness.
Dale.
I have no idea what that means, Dale, but thank you.
Nice.
I'm going to take it as something very positive. Yes, the Bears. You guys know what's up. Edwin says, no interest in the Absolute comics, which DC would fix their big 5 comics instead. Batman Absolute is pretty decent. You know, I will say it because we've been side tangent on the Batman stuff.
Oh, he's so hot.
Batman's been so popular since the Nolan movies came out. You know, obviously he was popular before then, but he took a giant step up with the Nolan movies, and it's just been Batman-centric everything, right, for the last 20-some-odd years. And it's just the same thing over and over again. So the Batman, or the Absolute Batman, was kind of cool because it gave us something brand new in an Elseworld kind of aspect that was fun to get into, and I liked the story, and I liked the art, and I liked where they're going with this. So we check out Absolute Superman. Here's the thing so far with this book that both Sean and I were noticing. There's a lot of words.
Yeah. We had to read a lot. Like, send us super chats for us reading, just to because you're proud of us.
Yes, exactly. Whatever, $1, $2, just let us know that you're proud of us for reading a book with so heavy a dialogue, which is not our
pages. Thing. There was so much. Like I texted Joe about less than halfway through, like there's so many words.
Yeah, I knew exactly what he was saying too, because I was like, you're right, man. Like I made it through it too, but I'm just like, why am I reading so much?
What is going on?
Too much dialogue.
Oh,
shout out to writers, you know.
Yeah,
they got things to say.
Dale says
that's true. That's true. And I guess I am a little heavy dialogue in my book, from some people say. So we're gonna work on us. All right. Yeah. Everybody's gonna work. It's gonna be right. Dale A said it means Joe M Sonntag. Oh, right.
Why did you say that?
Nice. Yeah, he had to be all fancy with the Latin, I think. You know, it's cool. I like it though. Sheldon Martin's in the chat. Sheldon is one of our members, and I also have what video did I have for him? I forgot. There he is. It's Mark.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Yes. Pegging for Disney. Let's go. He says, I'm pretty sure the editors on this want Superman's hair to be a little longer and more messy. Just a little. No, not words.
Right.
Words. I'm out. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. So all the covers have him longer, messy hair. I mean, he's got like a longer hair look that I don't mind in this. You know, I don't mind it personally. I actually like the long hair Superman in the 90s.
Yeah, that was my jam.
I thought that was cool, you know?
Yeah.
If they want to do an absolute line, they should have canceled all their other regular titles and replaced it with absolute versions. They're having way too much absolute books. Isn't this kind of like the what's the thing that
Ultimate?
Marvel was it the Ultimate Universe for Marvel? Yeah, I feel like that's what they're trying to do here, you know. And it is what it is.
I get it.
I get it. I'm fine with it. It's just, is it good or not? We don't know.
There's a super chat, motherfucker.
Damn. Oh shit. All right. Twisted Dreams for $1.99. Thank you, brother. Says words. I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
I do like that. We gotta do a classic on that one.
Dr. Fishy! No!
Rest in peace, Dr. Fishy. Thank you, Twisted Dreams. We appreciate you. Okay. We're gonna get into this. Words. It's gonna be an absolute mess.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not my favorite. It's not our favorite, right?
It's boring.
We'll say that from the get go. It's not horrible.
No, I liked it.
I don't want.
It
Yeah,
was kind of boring.
Yeah, exactly. So like, we got things right.
Yeah.
We start out on Krypton, which I thought this was an interesting way to go. Going with this kind of more industrialized version of Krypton, very red. I can't remember.
Sun.
Like the red sun. They're doing a lot of drilling for the minerals of the planet. They're going into like this kind of societal system. So it's a lot different than what we've seen depicted with Krypton in the past, right? Which is a little bit more. Actually, I can't think how many times I'm going off the movies. I'm going off the movies.
I'm going off the cartoon in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess whatever. A little different, I guess.
I'm sure it's always been there, but it's never really been shown. It's mostly been shown like scientists and like the higher jury. They've never shown the guy working at Krypton Starbucks,
Right, yeah. And this one thing I noticed about this, not that the book gets too political, but I do think that there's a message of class, you know what I'm saying? Class warfare, the rich, you know what I'm saying? It's sprinkled into this, which I caught right off the bat. And I kind of didn't like that. It turned me off a little bit right off the bat because I'm just like, all right, it's just, we're going with the whole rich or high society versus the poor. And you got to make the poor the heroes and all this kind of stuff or whatever,
But also, I'm sorry for cutting you up, but they also showed like the scientists and even like some like the hierarchy nerds, like everything was all like peace and love, like we're doing this for our planet.
Whatever
this is not.
Yeah, this is kind of more self-serving, right?
Yeah,
the higher ups. What do you want to? Higher society guys that live, up in the richy riches and the scientists and all this stuff. It's a little bit more self-serving of what they're doing. They wear all these symbols. That's one thing they changed right off the bat that is interesting, and we're going to get to this here. Why is my cursor not working? All these symbols and stuff here. So the classes are like, this is like the highest symbol, the red sun and everything. Like these are the class elites, right? The ruling class, as it says here, the most venerated minds on the planet. And my parents were not among them. I think that's one of the biggest changes, right? Where the L's were not the top scientists on the planet, like we've seen in previous iterations.
All incarnations.
Oh yeah, like that's just the way it's been, right? That's not them, and there's a reason for it, right? When we get to it, but they jump here, and I like this. It's not that I don't like the fact that everything's red and stuff. Like it's an interesting take. Like I like this. I don't know though. The red just kind of throws like there's too much red. Like I understand where they're going from, but it's just a little too much red for me.
Like a J.J. Abrams movie or show. He likes red.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
We got our first look at one of the L's, and we also get a first look at a Superman symbol. So, what did you think, Sean, when the use of the Superman symbol here when it came to the classes and what they were trying to make it stand for? How did you like that part of the story? And we'll explain here in a second.
No, because I always again, I'm only used to the S symbol that we know it as being from like the House of L.
Yeah, right.
So
singular.
Seeing it for like, like everyday Joe Schmo, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
maybe the whole hope thing a little too much.
Like from the movies. Because
Yeah.
that was a Snyder thing, right? The hope,
Yeah.
the meant hope. I always thought that was kind of like, like I was just
Mhm.
that was never a big thing to me. I was like,
It's too
whatever.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's but I agree with you, Sean. Like I always thought it symbolized the House L, which I always thought was cool. It's that family line,
Yeah.
They've changed it here. We saw the high society people wearing the sun. Well, the lower society in the Kryptonian or the lower people, I guess, in the Kryptonian society, the hard work, the working class, right? That's what it is. It's the work. They are the symbol for the working class people. They all wear the symbol of the Superman symbol, and it represents. Now, this was actually kind of cool. It represents steel, right? Like
Oh.
they cover this a little bit later on in the book. A lot of
See, I
words, a lot of
forgot.
pages to get
Yeah,
through.
it's a lot of words.
But the lower class are the working class, right? They're
Yeah.
the miners, the janitors, the farmers and all this kind of stuff. And they kind of adopted it as the steel class, where you had I can't remember some of the other names for the higher societies, but it kind of represented steel, which I thought was an interesting way to bring that kind of in. I thought that was better than the symbol meaning hope, but I still didn't like how they just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I still didn't like how they made it to an entire class of people instead of the House of L. So I'm
Yeah.
right there with you. That was one of the first things I was like, I don't know. That's a little too much. We've got a shot of Superman's mother, who is a
As a
mechanic
mechanic.
doing her thing. But it's interesting in this story that both with with Jor-El and Laura-El, or what's her name? Is it Laura?
Jarrell? Ja Rule?
Ja Rule. Ja Rule. Is that they both were set to go into high society, but because of the stuff that they said that pushed back against the current ruling class, they got pushed down into the lower society.
Mhm.
His mother in high school gave some kind of, or wrote a paper or something like that, as they explained. They kind of rubbed the high societies later or the wrong way, and they were just kind of like, nope, you're done. That's it.
Yeah.
Put you down. And then she was permanently shot down into the working class. Same thing happened to Jor-El. He gave a commencement speech. He was all ready to get accepted into the high society, scientific job, all that kind of stuff that would put him up where we normally see him. And he started talking about how the mining for the minerals on the planet or whatever was hurting the planet and could ultimately bring destruction. Again, I think a lot of this was allegory for like global warming and all that kind of stuff. Some things sprinkled in here. Very, like, if you're keeping an eye on what's going on today as far as narratives and stuff, there's very much that in the story when it comes to the destruction of Krypton. Anyway, he got punished for that, kicked out, and that's how they all ended up in the steel working man stuff.
Penalized for having an opinion.
Penalized for having opinions. There you go. This is just, the scene was okay. Again, there's a lot of setup in this book. So there's not a lot of fun art to sit here and be like, oh man, this page is awesome. It's just a lot of just storytelling, story building, whatever. Some people like that. It's a little boring for me and Sean. So we're going to try to give you the gist of the story as we go through. It is what it is. But I guess you have to pay for rain. If you're a farmer, you have to pay for it. When it shows up, it shows up. It's not like you pay for it and it just rains. And so this guy's been waiting for a while, and it finally rains after he paid like 3,000, whatever their currency is. Very expensive. It's highway robbery. It starts to rain and everything's good. What's the chat saying? You guys digging this so far? I just want to know. Are you where we're at?
Bored as we are?
Are you as bored as we are? Yeah, that's what we want to know. I was able to get the comic book. The comic Batman Hush hardcover. Not
nice.
Like the original Hush run hardcover. Nice.
Cool. Very cool.
Sheldon says, damn, the writer for that panel must have said, don't draw much on this because I'm writing the shitload on it. Yeah, it's very wordy. It is. Jason Aaron, I've never really read much of his stuff. I've heard bad things, but I wouldn't make a judgment because I never read it until now. This is the first Jason Aaron book I think I've read. And it was just, a lot of reading, man. The pace of this book was so slow because there's so much reading. Typically you want a comic book read to be fairly quick. That's the attention span of somebody is 15 minutes. Around that when you're reading a book. Couple that with some really awesome art.
Sucking. It was soul sucking just to get through a page.
Oh, she does look a little like Wonder Woman. Yeah, she does. Dare Elf.
Nice.
So they kind of just reiterate, and this whole thing is explaining the society and what's going on with Krypton. And so they harp on this. They go back and forth. They're showing a scene here with the high society, the Red Sun, group of people, and then the workers with the Superman symbol. Again, it wasn't something I really liked. I just don't like it. The Superman symbol is sacred is the wrong word, but the Superman symbol it's a big thing to me, right? It's Superman is one of my favorite. Yeah, it's one. Okay, there you go. It's one of my favorite characters.
Sure yeah.
I've always loved the character. I've always loved the design of the symbol itself, and it means something to me when it comes to the character. And I don't like how they're just for the story. I understand what they're going for. Personally, I just don't like that they're making it a symbol for an entire class of people instead of the House of L.
Yeah.
And it just goes into the fact that Superman doesn't really stand for the House of L. He stands for the working class of Krypton. That's basically
it does mean hope, though. Like, not the people's hope, but like when you see the Superman S, and maybe hear something, like that means hope on that level, and that's why it's so grand and so majestic and so impactful. So for it to be flung on like Section 48's like badge, just to get it to work, like it's like it's a little disposable.
And here's the thing with this story, like the idea behind this: unless everybody in the working class and the steel class of these people are noble, just, upright, morally on high, then the symbol doesn't work. Because if you have anybody in this working class that's a piece of shit, deadbeat, drunk, whatever, and you're wearing the symbol, it doesn't work. Obviously, they don't cover it. It's just something that popped in my head, Wiley J. Draws is in the house.
How you doing?
Brother. Good to see you. Jason Aaron is actually a good writer. I read his Batman Off-World book that Doug Mankey drew, and it was awesome with badass action. Nice. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. For my first time out reading his stuff, wasn't all that, again, not a bad story. I don't want you guys to think that our criticism is saying that it's a bad story for anybody that's tuning in and actually read this book and, like, I love this book. What are these guys saying? It just wasn't appealing to me in this. Wolverine and X-Men, Astonishing Spider-Man, and Wolverine, Thor.
That was good.
Some of the highlights for Jason Aaron's writing. All I've known him for was the Thor.
One of the Kubricks drew the Wolverine Spider-Man. That was pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool suits.
Yeah. So this kind of relates a little bit later on in the book when we actually see Kal-El. So there's a mining going on. They're mining deep into the earth and Krypton, and they're running into some issues here. And this is Jor-El as we see him. Yeah, and I like the design of the suits. Again, the symbol is just always going to be awesome anytime you see it, right? Mm-hmm. It's just because it's a Superman symbol. There's something about that is just awesome. That's why I would like to just have it reserved for the House of El and Kal-El. But it is what it is. Jor-El is the leader of this group. They're going down to figure out what the hell is going on and if it's even safe for people to be mining, and this is kind of where we get into the class warfare where one class does not care about the safety of the other class. And they get down here and they're doing a bunch of, investigation on some of this stuff. And we get this dude who is, he had an interesting name. They are from this guy right here with this symbol. Says, why are we standing around outside not digging sunstone? Safety concerns, sir. Some of the miners heard I shut it down. I'm here from geological engineers and I have concerns about this mining or these mining stability. He says, based on what? Show me stress markers. So they're going back and forth here. Obviously, this guy's losing money probably with the things not being mined. Jor-El is thinking about the safety of the miners and the planet in general. This guy's just depicted as selfish, money hungry. Get the people back in there. I don't care if they're in safety or if they're in danger. Get them working. And he says, here we go. He gives a name. He said, take a good long look at my chest and have a glance down at yours.
Like, look at my tits.
Look at my tits and look at yours. Mine are way bigger. Now go march yourself upstairs and tell those diggers, dang racist. The League of
Wow.
Middle Management said get their stories. What? Sorry, skin sacks back to work. So then the League of Middle Management is what it is.
Oh,
Crazy.
that's gonna be a book. That's definitely gonna be
The League of Middle Management.
Yeah.
Interesting name. I was just kind of like, all right, Thor by James Ahrent is nice, original style.
Nice.
Nice. I don't know if I've read it. Looks like a computer made this book. I don't think it probably is digital art.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's anything more than that. I actually don't mind the art. Sean and I were talking, like, the art's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with the artists or the colors of the book or anything for the most part. Very modern, like that's the biggest thing I could say. It's just a very modern looking book. Nothing special, but good. The storytelling is fine. The sequential storytelling is good. Got no problems with it. So visually, I liked it. The first time I flipped through it, I told Sean, I was like, dude, this is a book we should probably look at. And I kind of wish I didn't, but this is where we're at.
A little bit of Francis Yu, Lionel Francis Yu. Just a teeny tad.
To me, I was like, it almost reminded me a little of Jimenez, except not structure wise, but not. I don't even know how to explain it, but that's when I read it. I was like, this kind of reminds me. Of course, if you hold them up side by side, it's probably not even close, but it's just head hints of it. Whatever, the art is fine.
Yeah.
By the way, this entire book is narrated by Kal-El, which we'll find out later. But there's just this narration going on about the class warfare, what's going on in the planet, and then obviously you got the dialogue with the characters. We find out later this is actually Superman Kal-El talking. And he's just like, be digging ditches when I'm through with you, all this stuff. And then obviously right after he says that, boom, a rumble starts to happen. Earth is shaking. And this guy's like, shit, this dude was right. And let's just get to here. We get our first take of what I'm assuming is kryptonite.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so they're digging, what do they run the society off of? Lava, or they're mining, or the sunstone, or as what they call it, but there's something with the lava that they draw power from or whatever. And they get to this stuff, and it's kind of like this more ooze or green lava acidy stuff or whatever, as it melts this League of Middle Management dude.
Limbs.
Yeah. And I'm assuming this is what is going to be kryptonite. I just, without reading the rest of the books, I have no idea.
Call me crazy, but I'm onto something with this. Like,
it's green, so we're gonna go with it.
Yeah, I have a hunch.
And this is the moment where Jor-El, it's even stated in here. This page, this was a double spread, so it's a little smaller on the screen, but it says the People's Farms, Crystal Forests, and the Great Glass Mountains. All right, that's not what it is. All of it. Oh, there we go. All of Krypton was doomed. So this was the moment Jor-El knows what's going on. Like, they dug too deep. They dug too deep. Damn it! And now they hit this Krypton, or this kryptonite, whatever. He knows right off the bat, this is the thing, that Krypton is doomed, and that kind of leaves on a cliffhanger there. And we run into Brazil. This is the thing that kind of threw me off. I was like, what, Brazil? We went from Krypton, now we're going into Brazil, current day, because the whole Kryptonite, or the Krypton, was like a little bit in the past, as we're going to see, obviously telling the story, and now we're at current day Brazil. And just to this point, I'm bored.
Yeah, I'm bored looking at it.
Well, they wanted that green, that money. Yes, they did. They hit a vein, or they hit a vein of the Mountain Dew. Nice. Now, see, that would be fine. I'd be, I'm not even a huge Mountain Dew fan, but I'd be down with that.
I do you.
Looks like the scene from RoboCop. Oh, dude, it does kind of. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Classic.
After the guy got shot in the dick, or before?
Yeah. Wait, no. It's when he drives to that vat of acid.
Yeah.
And then he's walking around, he's all melting and shit. Yeah. Good times. All right. Almost all of it.
So long.
Krypton was doomed. Almost all of it. More writing, more reading.
Can we take a pause? Like, I need a break.
We can take a pause for a second.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Mountain Dew is the shit. Ruby Red. Mountain Dew was the shit.
Nice.
That was the shit. All right. I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is where the story really slowed down to me, where I kind of didn't care anymore. The Krypton stuff was interesting, even though I wasn't as into some of the stuff that they were doing, which we just explained. It was at least an interesting story. I wish they had done the entire book on Krypton. Just give me a full-on origin before he even gets to Earth. Instead of now we're going to bounce back and forth between present and past as we're telling the story. I understand that as a story telling element or way to tell a story, which is fine. But when we got to this part of the story, there's something about this. It was just, it took me out of the book.
It sucked.
Yeah, it did. If you, I don't know. And it's, again, absolute world. This is not a classic Superman. So it's not going to be the same, Kansas, Smallville, Metropolis. But it would have been kind of nice if you gave a little bit of that. The thing about Absolute Batman, he was still in the Batman world, still in Gotham. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like a Batman book. None of this seems like a Superman book to me.
I wish these fictional characters, this fictional Brazil, just fucking had an earthquake. Like right now.
Long story short, there's a company called Lazarus. They got a ton of mines all across the world, and they're digging for what I can't remember what they're digging
Brazilium.
for. Brazilium, yeah. But the working long story short, the working conditions are very poor. They're working in like asbestos and like all this stuff that's going to kill you later on in life. The wages are very low. It was basically slave labor, right? And this is kind of where like the activist mindset kind of comes in. And when Sean and I was reading this book, I sent him a text. I was like, dude, this is like the activist Superman. And you're going to see why as we get into this story. So first half of the story, I'm going to say not too bad, right? It had my interest. You're going into some places that Superman hasn't gone before. Getting some backstory in this world about the destruction of Krypton and all that kind of stuff. I could dig it. We get into this world now, and it's just like I hit a wall with this. I was like, yeah, you got the peace makers.
I like
their
those
guards.
designs. I like those designs and thought that was a cool element.
Yeah, these weren't bad.
Yeah.
Oh shit, going way back, Pepsi Clear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyone remember Red Rattler soda? It was basically Big Red. I remember Big Red.
I remember Big Red.
Yeah. Wait, it slows down. Super Gee. Yeah. They're copying the rundown. Oh, dude, great point.
Oh, right.
Great.
Right.
Now that you mention it, that's a good movie. That is actually a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now you mention it, you're right. It does feel like that. And obviously, these people are just treated bad. They're not even second-class citizens. They're third-class citizens, right? And
but not in real life.
Right, not in real life. In real life, they're great people.
Number one. Yeah.
Number one in our hearts. Number one in the chat. Wait. But in the book, again, this kind of just you're playing the societal issues in Krypton. Now you come to Earth, and this is the whole thing. Now you got the societal issues in Earth, right? You got the rich, you got the middle class, you got the poor, you got the people that don't care about other people's lives. They just want to put you in a mine and get rich and all this kind of stuff. It says these. So this is Kal-El talking here. He's this while working a mine that extracts 200 million worth of carrots the previous year. So they're just talking about getting roughly $300 for a month of working day. So pretty bad wages. These miners expect what they do here in the darkness will be the death of them. Then why are they doing it? Okay. They do it nonetheless in the name of their family. I do the same. You're not Batman. You don't get the Batman voice. Okay. So what they end up doing is they go down here and they find out that this stuff it's already mined. They don't have to do any work. And they're just like, what the hell? What's going on? And this dude here, this
privilege.
Yeah. They're living a life of privilege. Now, this dude's like, it doesn't
the
matter.
tables have turned.
Yeah. He's like, ask no questions. Let's just claim this and go get paid. So they don't do any work, but they still get the money. So socialism. We have a little bit of a flashback here. We go into the previous night, and you have this hooded character walking in amongst all these people. In the next panel, he walks off and he meets the same dude that just did nothing and is going to get paid for it. And he's like, "You're the one, yes? Sorry, do you not speak Portuguese? Someone said they heard you speaking Spanish. Another said English. So apparently Kal-El can speak a ton of different languages." He said, "Old Matthias," or whatever the dude's name is, one of the last of the Sinta Larga, the indigenous of the land. He swears you were a wild boy of the Amazon who speaks only gibberish. He says, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to pry. We all have our secrets." And he, I don't know, looking through him for some reason with his x-ray. I mean, this is kind of cool, don't get me wrong. I just didn't understand. Maybe it's just a fact to show that we are looking at Superman so that the audience knows what's going on. But drawing-wise, I thought it was pretty cool. And then he speaks in English. "Not anymore. What do you want from me? Blah, blah, blah." And he's talking about some kind of party they're going to go to, and they're going to do a drink and all this stuff. Some kind of freedom talk.
Going skiing,
you know, this or that. Long story short, in all of this storyline, Kal-El's been going around to all these mines and doing the same thing. He goes and he mines the stuff for the people so that they get paid. Lazarus has taken notice of this, trying to figure out what the hell is going on with their mines across the world. And he just kind of seems to be going around, you're sticking up for the downtrodden people and doing all their stuff, you know? So whatever, doing Superman things. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, but very much, in my opinion, you know, doing like some more activist work than superhero stuff. The artist seems bored too. Every look at the camera, everyone look at the camera, then everyone look away from the camera, everyone stand around. That's besides the writing, which isn't bad. It's just, yeah, it's a boring comic compared to, you know, what we like. You know, at least Absolute Batman had a lot of action in it, a lot of cool poses, a lot of, you know, fun stuff from the get-go. Scott Snyder knew what he was doing. I can't remember the artist of that book, but he did a really good job. Had that kind of like, there you go. He had a kind of like manga feel to it. You know, so it was fun. It was action-packed. This was just like this is drama, right? This is a drama story so far. Yeah. Hardly any action, and even the action we get into right in a little bit is not going to be much to it. Yeah, imagine drawing this script. Yeah, I would be bored too. That's a good point. Yeah. Duck Bacon says, "We got Blue Boy Comics in the house."
You my boy, Blue.
Yes, sir. I still got to get that video made. "I didn't like the stripes on the bandana. That colorist added in." Yeah, I'm down with you on that.
Looks like Wicker.
Yeah, good point. Just kind of looks odd. Imagine how that just looked in black and white, because that would just been like this weird little chunk here. Like, I don't know.
Like fat skin?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Like, it's not a tumor. Yeah, cool design in these suits. You know?
Yeah. Oh, my alley.
I don't like this effect either. This weird smudged light flare.
Our guys can do it better. Or differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Differently. They could do it differently.
I'm going to say better. It's just weird, though. It just looks like a smudge, you know? It's just like, there's nothing to it. Like, it took me a second to figure out what the hell he was holding when I first read this book. And I was like, oh, that's a light effect.
Is he peeing?
Yeah, it's like, you know. Anyway, so these guys are getting beat up because they're like, you know, what the hell's going on? You know, they know that these guys didn't mine all this. They just went down there and got it. So they're questioning them. "Someone among you enjoys breaking the peace. Who is it? After everything Lazarus has done for you animals." Racist. "Lazarus means life, but maybe for you, it ought to mean, sir, head count complete. All workers reported for their shift today. All but one." And we get into this warning, Peacemaker approaching, conflict imminent. This is kind of where you get into something interesting. Now, I did like this. Well, okay, let me refresh your memory, because I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this before we went live, but I figured you would probably like this because this kind of reminds me of Strees in Armor. from Type
Wait,
1.
the suit and him talking to each other?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that I picked up on. Yeah.
So we jump into the scene. It's the first time we see this. Some just spoilers or whatever. Kal-El is wearing this costume, this armor that he got. I'm assuming kind of like what we saw Jor-El in when he was doing the mining.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a kind of a bio armor, but it's sentient as far as having like this kind of AI voice, kind of like, Iron Man in the Avengers movies when it would talk to him. And it's, like I said, kind of like what Sean does with Type 1 and Strees, where the computer or the suit interacts with the host. And
find out in the pages of Type 1.
Don't be a bum, back Type 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's conflict imminent, a solar charging suspended. So he was in the midst of getting the charge from the sun, I guess, is assuming what's going on here. Instigating wake up procedure. So he was just sleeping in the shack after mining all night, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
On to the next mine, next corporate pig farm or sweatshop factory. So this is why I say he's the activist Superman. He's just going around to like all of these, sweatshops and all this kind of stuff and doing what he can, I guess, to make people's lives better. Not bad. It's a noble cause, I guess. But I'm a little bit more used to seeing Superman being heroic, doing life-saving things, not necessarily activists. It's like the Antifa Superman. I'm going to piss somebody off by saying that. I apologize, everybody out there. Have thicker skin. Years of running all across the planet, from the jungle to the big waters to whatever you call those places that are nothing but sand, and it's always the same. And these peacemakers get out. Move everybody out now. What are you doing? There are children here. Always misery, always Lazarus. So Lazarus is this big thing. And I'm assuming this is going to be like a Lex Luthor thing. I would assume you're going to have, unless they do the app, because Absolute always takes these characters and puts them in completely different areas than you would think. So maybe Lex Luthor is a good guy in this. Maybe he's Kal-El's best friend at some point. I don't know. But I know Lazarus is the big bad. Except this time I've left myself weak and sun-starved. So now he's getting run up on, and he's not even full powered here. Dreaming of a time long ago when I still knew who I was. So he's got a crisis identity on top of everything else that's going on in his life. What are you guys thinking so far? You digging this? Anybody feeling it? You attached to it? You want to go buy the book and keep on? I think they got 7 issues out.
Take a nap.
Twisted Dream says, where do you take Superman now that he's public domain? Well, the thing about the only thing that's public domain about Superman, I think, is the first incarnation of him.
The jumping,
like jumping buildings faster than a speeding bullet. But you can't do a lot of the other stuff with Superman, so it's only that. But I don't know. Are you all going to review the new Youngblood? We talked about it, but I saw a post on the Rob Liefeld or the Extreme Studios message boards on Facebook where he was asking people specifically not to spoil Youngblood 1 because it is going to come out in shops in, I think, September or something like that. So he was asking people not to be spoiling the book up till then, and we're going to respect those wishes.
Whereas on Mark Polton's channel, we reviewed it a week or two ago, so go check it out there.
Did you guys really? Come on, Mark. Respect. Just sympathy for the writer. Yeah. Oh, Laz Luthor.
Like a female.
Oh shit. Hopefully next issue Superman will mop the floor and solve the complex math problems. That's probably where it's going to go, Anyway, okay. So we get this first shot. He wakes up. Peacemakers are going, and we get some
panels.
I was going to say we get some cool action here. Very little action in the book, but we do get. It's fine. It's not what we're used to, but I do like this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Good hand there. I really wish that the colorist would have done this whole blur effect. I hate the blur effect. There's nothing you can do with the blur effect that you can't do with line work showing. You already have all these speed lines, right?
Just color hold them.
Yeah, you don't need the blur effect here. It's just personal. I just don't like it. So he's cutting through these guys like a hot knife through butter. He's taking them all out. He says maybe it's time, or maybe it's for the best I haven't already left, because after years of watching these people treat the poorest and lowest amongst them as a little more than cattle, I've gotten tired of running. And we get our first full shot of Superman. He's very much wearing that mining armor that we saw Jor-El wear. This is a cool
Cool
pose.
gesture. Yeah,
Cool
yeah,
splash.
yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's examine the costume real quick.
Okay.
So obviously a lot different. I know he gets his cape at some point. I have no idea how that's going to turn out when he does, but he's going to have it.
Oh, I know.
Tell me about it. Tell me. What do you got?
He takes it off of a dead orphan in the street that's wrapped in a red blanket. He's like, I will save you for justice. We're wearing this cape as a sign so you can live on. Because I am Superman.
Is that the Adam Sandler Superman?
Yeah.
That's probably exactly how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's, again, I'm just, because I live in such a political world, as we all do, if you just pay attention to entertainment and media, it's just kind of like you hear the same BS lines all the time. The poorest, the lowest amongst them, blah, blah, blah. I'm just kind of like, I'm just over that shit. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't care in the comics. You know, I understand Superman's being heroic and all this kind of stuff, standing up for those people. But Superman stands up. He stands up for all, right?
Whoa.
What do you mean?
What do you mean those people?
What do you mean those people? Damn
Yeah.
it. Like the Superman character stands up for all, right? And here's the biggest thing that I didn't like. Superman is an American character. And this was a big, controversial thing, I guess to say, especially nowadays. But he was an American superhero. He was the American ideal, truth, justice, and the American way, right? That's been taken away. It's been stripped away from Superman, as we've seen over the last couple of years. And this kind of just, it runs that same theme. This story doesn't take place in America right now. It takes place in Brazil, where all this stuff is going on. It's just, again, I think they're doing their best to kind of try to strip that away, and it's in the storytelling, and it is what it is. All right, getting back to the costume. Enough of that.
Looks like he's got repulsor, not repulsor rays, but things to emit the solar power.
Yeah, it's so his gauntlets, if that's what you want to call them, and his boots. They light up, which I think it's a cool design. Like I really dig it. Add the cape in here.
Is
I
that
kind of
how he
like.
flies?
Oh, well, okay. So spoilers, because this book is almost over anyway. He doesn't have his full power set. So Jason Aaron did kind of go back to the original iteration of Superman, which we were just talking about, the one that's going to be in the public domain, of just the jumping high. He's got the strength, faster than a speeding bullet, all that kind of stuff. He doesn't fly at this point. This is very much a young Superman. This book should have really been called Ultimate or Absolute Superboy, because he's much more of a young man in this than he is an actual man. It might even be a late teen. I don't know. They're depicting him as very young. So he's learning about his powers, and we're going to see these coming up here in a second. But I just wanted to kind of, stick on this suit for a second. I dig it. I like it. Add the cape in. I'm cool with it. I also like the hair. Yeah, I also like the hair. I like how it's a little bit more gray than blue. I don't know if that's going to change, or if it's just the coloring at this point. But nothing against the suit. Like I get it. The design's good. The art on this is really good. I dig it. So this is probably my favorite page of the entire book. And the symbol.
Tom Petty, he's learning to fly.
Oh shit! Nice one. Yeah. Okay. Symbol looks good. A slight variation on the Superman symbol. You don't have the breaks in the S to really show that it's an S, even though we all know it is. So a little bit different of a design. I dig it. Not bad. This is where the costume is kind of letting him know about his strength, about how he's got to hold back a little bit. But since
I'm going to sue.
Sue, what do you tell me? Talk. Let's do it. Let's go.
You're right. They definitely stole from me.
Yeah, they did.
Motherfuckers.
Dude,
show your support to me. Back type 1. Don't let these bums win.
Links down below. Everybody, if you are bored watching this book, you want to support Sean, go back, type 1, do it now. Okay, so it says, interesting, like the other Lazarus Court forces, we've encountered their weapons and armor incorporated technology not native to this galaxy. So that's an interesting plot line in itself, that this corporation...
That's my plot line.
Is that directly your plot line?
I'm so fucking pissed.
Oh, shit. I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, suing somebody. Suing somebody.
Motherfuckers.
All right. Said, will they live if I hit them? Yes, but I still advise against that as he hits them. Way to go, Superman. Just kill people. Let's go. I know what you're going to say, Soul. So I guess the character or the computer's name is Soul.
Soul Arm? What the fuck?
Love. That's it. Suing time. Lawsuits ensue.
Oh, God.
We're not leaving until the miners are safe. You don't get the Superman voice. Sorry. We're there we go. We're not leaving until the miners are safe. There we go. We'll do that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Rounds ineffective, adjusting ammunition. So what's interesting about their weapons is it kind of adjusts to the opponent they're fighting, the enemy they're fighting. So they actually up their intensity because they realize that it's not doing anything against this character. It says, Cal, this planet of combustion engines, fanatical religions, and the thermonuclear weapons. That's a lot to say. These people are never safe. Yeah, see, this knows. Soul knows what's going on. It's like, it's just what it is.
I hate you, Soul.
And neither are you if you insist on exerting yourself in this manner. Your solar energy levels are quite depleted. How did I just do that? These workers.
Whoa.
These workers are in danger. Thank you. And it's my fault. And it's my fault.
Take my
fault.
Take my money.
All I did was try to help.
I hate today.
Emo. My God, the boy who speaks in whispers. Okay. Kal-El, you must leave now. Kal-El, as he gets struck by lightning. That's a cool panel. I do like that. Yeah, that was a great pose. Yep, 100%. Well, this is how Marvel would treat him.
I'm gonna sue them too.
Yeah, let's sue them all. You know.
Yeah.
Nope, he takes it off. A dead
Matador.
Matador. Okay. I got you. The Matador,
Yeah.
but Bull killed. I see you. As Kal-El applauded. Nice. Yeah, he watches the bull kill him, and then he takes it. Yeah, very good point. They should have went crazy and got Garth Ennis and Simon Bisley to do a whacked out Superman. That would have been cool. Costume and art looks fantastic. Story, not so much. Yeah. So far, designs and everything, I'm fine with. Even the art, I'm good with. The action scenes, for as little as it was, and it was very little, was pretty decent. Hey, on the bright side, Jason Aaron is a fan of yours, Spanish God on paper. Oh, shit. There you go, Sean.
Good call. Yeah, I am awesome.
There you go. Twisted Dream says, don't sweat, Sean. Yours will be better.
Thanks.
Sounds like, oh, yeah, it does kind of sound like Zoolander.
Can you do the face?
Merman. No, I can't do the face. I'm not even going to try because can't do it. All right. Attention, peacemakers. Call off the Reaper. What?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I read that.
Now I'm suing.
Yeah. Where are we so rich off the fucking cunts?
It pisses me off.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. We get introduced to this military group or whatever you want to say it. This is the Phenomenova. No, I'm just kidding. We're all suing.
The rip-offers.
Yeah, bastards. So this is the reveal.
Shift.
Well, there you go.
The graveyard lift.
The graveyard lift. This is the big reveal. You know, kind of like we had Alfred in Absolute Batman was revealed to be like the top spy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the Joker revealed to be something else, and all this kind of stuff. Short story, or long story short, Lois Lane is not a reporter in this universe. She is part of this military group. And she is the one, where to say, they're trying to figure out. So they got pictures of this dude, all from out the mines, or from Kal-El, from the mines, from, you know, security systems and all that kind of stuff. She's the one that figures this out right here. She says, it's the suit. If you look closely, you can see it's shifting, changing shape, like living armor, protecting him. And sometimes, I swear, he's talking to it. Sue! Lawsuit, let's go!
Fuck.
Bastards, man.
Fuckers.
All right, be ready to hit the ground running and gunning, people. Running and gunning. It says, Kal-El, no, you don't know, or you know you cannot control your kazoo. So here's the thing about Kal-El. He can't control his powers. He's got his strength. He does his normal stuff. But when he lets loose like this, he does not control anything. So we get this really cool shot. I do like this art-wise, where he's just letting loose, you know, just letting loose with his eye blasts, eye beams, and just wasting people. And at the same time, other powers is kicking in, like his X-ray, or I'm assuming that's his X-ray. His eyes. What's he doing with his... Yeah. So I'm assuming he just killed these people, right?
I would assume so.
That's like I feel like he just wasted all these people.
Oh, dude. So
what?
All right, this is gross, but whatever. I saw on Facebook somebody showed what it was if you took a piss on an electric fence.
Oh
it
shit!
Showed the outcome.
Oh damn!
Right.
I don't want to see it.
Like, but think of it like a prick. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Never pee on an electric fence, everybody.
No.
That's words of wisdom to live by. Yeah.
Shout out to Ren and Stimpy.
He says, enough. Soul, shut me down. Says, Cal, it is my mission to protect you, to guard the last living vestige of the House of El. So I must urge you, yet again, do not engage. Do not risk your life for these people. Leave this place. Return to the shadows, please. Seems reasonable. It seems like some pretty good advice.
I would think so.
As he just shows like all the people he just killed laying down around him. You must never forget the lesson of Krypton. Some worlds simply cannot be saved. Dun, dun, dun. And there's the mission of Superman, everybody. He can save the world that can't be saved. I do like it. Seems like his suit just absorbed all that. You see that, where it went from that grayish blue color to now it's this red, as it seemed like it absorbed the eye blast.
Mm-hmm.
The military lands, blah blah blah, doing their thing. Field team, go go go. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Soul. This was a bad idea, and I don't really feel so great. Let's get out of here before clank. And we see Lois Lane in her badassery. This is Agent Lane, suspect in custody.
This bitch.
Now, if they're going to bang at some point, she seems like she's relatively older than him. And this is kind of... Okay, there you go. Yeah. That's some, like, cougar shit right there. Like, I'm telling you, like, I don't know how old he's supposed to be in this book, but he can't be more than 17, 18. There you go. Thank you. The way he's depicted, I feel like 17, 18, and she looks like she's straight up late 20s. Maybe
good
even
gesture, though.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good face work. You know what I mean? Like, this artist is good. I like him.
Yeah, very talented.
And no complaints about the art whatsoever.
Yeah.
I forgot about this too. So you have to have the obligatory Superman naming by Lois Lane. And I don't like this. I feel like it's extremely forced. You know, make a move, fry your face, Superman. I don't like it. Anybody else, does that bother you? Like, is there a better way she could have named him Superman? Like, maybe after this book. I understand you want to throw the tag in there in the first issue. He looks extremely emo.
He looks like the one Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, the dude that's in House of the Dragon. That guy.
Yes,
or,
yes.
The Game of Thrones dude now.
Yes.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I could
Where's
see that.
Kayla to tell us that we're right?
She'd be like, I can't do her impersonation, but yeah. This comic is like listening to Biden give a speech. Hey, oh, yeah, I read that. Or I read
No,
that.
no, that's new.
Yeah, this one is.
No,
Wait,
the other one's new.
this
Yeah,
one?
go back. Yeah, now read it.
Well, I read it, but I'll read it again.
No, yeah.
Hey, on the bright side, Jason Aaron is a fan of yours. Never vain. Oh, that is new. Shit. My bad. You're right. On the bright side, Jason Aaron is a fan of yours. Never vain, narcissistic one. I like that. You sound like Zoolander. I wasn't even trying to, but who was it that said it? Somebody said it. I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll push it more towards the Zoolander voice. Michael Pritchard, what do you say here? Not enough prolonged pauses. I know, right?
Oh.
I need to, because of the Biden speech. Yeah, I got you. Oh shit! But she's into BDSM. It seems like it. I mean, I'm telling you, some funky things going on here. Lois Lane and young Superboy there. Super ridiculously good looking. So that's it.
No, there's more.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I completely forgot about the.
We were so hopeful.
Yeah, I was like, damn it, there's more. All right, Nevada Desert. I completely forgot about this part. My bad, guys. We do. I like this. I do. So we got the Lazarus Corp. Is that RD department or Red department? I can't tell. R&D department says, well, now what have we here? A scrumptious new toy. Wonder where you came from. It's kind of a little
That's Brainiac.
It's Brainiac, but it's a little feminine talking there. As you see all these like shrunk down worlds and stuff.
Well, he's a binary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess we can get down with that. But yeah, get Brainiac working for the Lazarus Corporation, and he's checking out Kal-El, very aroused about the potential of this character. And I do kind of like how they did this. This is just copy and paste for the most part. Mm-hmm. This was copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. That might have been drawn. But yeah, a lot of these are just kind of copied and pasted in here as he's watching the scene unfold. And then we get the ultimate look here. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot the end of this. Central Kansas, and you get the Kent farm. They're just kind of trying to remind us that this isn't your grandfather's Superman. As you see the Kent farm completely worn down, abandoned, and it says property of Lazarus Corp. Now, I would have thought that maybe if I was going to go in a direction of storytelling, that you would have had Superman come as a baby. He would have arrived here, raised, something happened to the Kent family by the Lazarus Corp, and that's what's driving him. And maybe that's the case going forward. I haven't read any other books, but the only reason why I know he doesn't come to Earth as a baby is we get back to years ago, Krypton, the Red Lands, which I do like this. Good designs, very cool. Laura L, or whoever her name is working on doing her thing, doing mechanic work. And Jor-El is coming back from the mine, which just exploded with all the kryptonite ooze. And he's kind of out of it. He's just like, of course, there must be testing before I can say for sure. I'll need to get started right away. Right away! And she's like, Jor-El, it's me. Tell me what it is. What's happened to you? Says, Laura.
Be like that.
Laura. Can't tell anyone yet. You understand? Not until we're certain. We must be certain before before we warn the world. Look at it, Laura. The beauty of it. I wanted us to remember what it's like once it's gone. Gone? Jor-El, tell me, what do you mean? And he's like, this is a funny expression. Well drawn. I'm not going to give him shit about this, but it's just, where's Kal-El? Cal. Lara was my son. Yeah.
You the crap.
And she's like, calm down, dude. He's right here. And we get a shot at Kal-El. And he's a freaking kid. So he grew up past babyhood on toddlerhood, baby, something. Past that point on Krypton here. So he obviously comes to Earth, at least in some form of a young child, if not a young teen. I don't know how that actually works. I don't know if this is crypto. or just some kind of generic Labrador
So
there.
adorable. I just want to hug and call it George.
You know what it looks like? I feel like it looks like somebody's dog that this
It
artist.
looks like my sister's dog, Skylar,
Okay.
and I love it so much.
He either used a reference, like a heavy reference, or he specifically
Yeah.
took maybe his dog, you
Yeah.
know, and put it in, which is fine. I think there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that, but it just looks so much different art wise than the rest of the book. So they're just like, Jor, whatever this is, we'll get through it the way we always do. Together. Dun, dun, dun. And then we see the kryptonite breaking through the ground here on Krypton. And the next issue is Superman versus Lois Lane. I don't know how that works, unless it's some
Okay.
kind of like, you know, bedroom shit. But
Go back to the Ma and Pa Ken's house.
okay. Which one? Tell me when to stop.
There, you see how there's a hole in it?
At the top?
I think his spacecraft crashes in, killing the Kents.
Oh
and then,
shit.
like he goes on his own story.
Oh shit. That'd
And
be
then
crazy.
Lazarus buys it because it's like space shit.
Oh, now that's an interesting theory, man. That'd be sucky if that's the case. You're just using the Kents for fodder, you know, in that aspect. But the absolute universe it's more mature. So I mean, they could put that kind of stuff in. This confirms I do have my own opinion on books, and I'm not buying everything you guys review. Well, this is not a recommend by us, by the way.
Nah, one bit.
You know, we will give you the recommends where we say go out and get this. This is you're gonna love it. This is not one of them.
You will not love this.
You're not gonna love this, which is hopefully you got your fill for what it is here. That face is not fantastic. Yeah, it's a little like for most of the book, he's done generic faces, and I'm not one to talk. You know, I mean, when you're drawing, you do that kind of normal, unless you're really in a script that's very expressive. You know, you're drawing the kind of like stone face look, the brows are curled, you know, some anger emotion. When you actually have to show like shocked and everything, it's, you know, probably not the easiest. It's fine. It's fine. You know, it's not great. It's not horrible. What are you looking at? Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So that's it. That's Absolute Superman #1. A book I wanted to check out because honestly, I'd seen somebody review issue like 4 or 5, and the story seemed at that point that it was kind of cool. It was kind of compelling. So I wanted to dive in and be like, let's look at issue 1 and see where this goes, because I feel like the story might get better as you go. I just don't know if I want to be invested in it and jump in and reading it, because this was a chore, like Sean said, to read this book. It seemed like it took forever. It was a long book, a lot of dialogue, a lot of building, and not a lot of like first issues, just like first episodes of TV series. You want to bring that viewer, that reader in right from the get-go, and that cliffhanger should be making you want to go get the next issue or anticipating it. This did nothing of that for me. This was like, I got to the end of the book, I'm like, okay, that's good. You know, you did nothing to make me want to keep on reading. Unlike Absolute Batman, where I went out and bought the issues. I haven't read them because I've just been busy, but like it's on my to-do list because I thought it was actually fun. Chat, I want to hear from you guys. What did you think about this as we were reviewing it? Is it something you want to buy? Something you're interested in? Is it a no-go? Post in the chat. Let us know. Sean, first thoughts, and then give me your rating.
Oh, dude. I didn't hate it. Like, it wasn't bad. But it was just so boring and so many words, and like it wasn't exciting. I'll give it like a 4.5.
There you go.
I think if we look at Superman Birthright by Mark Waid and Lionel Francis Yu, which came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s, maybe whatever, we'd be like, okay, this is like a high 8, low 9 book.
Oh,
because it's a retelling of Superman's story of origins, 12-issue miniseries.
Okay.
But the art's fantastic. The story's awesome. So like a 4 or 5 on this. And I do want to find out what happens, but I have no urge to jump and go out and buy #2. Like, not for a long time.
Right.
Very long time. Till my hair grows back.
That is actually probably the best way you could break that down. I am interested to see where they're going, but I don't have the motivation to keep on at this point. It's almost like Andor. Like I'm interested to see where that show is
Oh
going, but
yeah,
it's so slow. I don't have the capacity to sit down and actually watch it. So I'm gonna go with a 5. I'm gonna be right there with you. Close to you. I thought this was an average book. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. The art saves it for me because I thought the art was pretty decent. And even though,
talented.
yeah, talented, I like the depiction. I like the character designs. The suit is cool. Like this cover, obviously has the cape on it and everything. And I like this. I really do. Like the Superman symbol, the suit, the idea behind the AI component with the costume is new to Superman, and I want to see where that's going to go. You know, how's that going to work as he goes and discovers his power. So there's a lot set up for some intriguing things going forward. I just don't have a desire to keep going on with the book because the writing is just it's not action packed enough. Wasn't it? Who directed Lethal Weapon? Was that
That's Zemeckis.
uh, Chad? Figure it out. Who directed Lethal Weapon? Because I'm pretty sure it was him that had a philosophy that when you're doing a story, you need something every 10 minutes in the movie that's action oriented.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to
yeah.
be an action scene, but it's got to be something that's interesting to keep the audience on that roller coaster, that up and down. You can't stay just flatline for too long. And I think this book is it's too long of flat lines in between action and needed something every once in a while to have some kind of fun. You know, even the scene in the mine wasn't good enough to be, you know, to keep me interested in exactly what's. Yeah, there you go.
Dick
Richard
Don,
Donner.
yeah,
Richard
yeah.
Donner. I was gonna say that, but then I was.
directed Superman.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, was it? I was like, but no, he directed Superman. He didn't do Lethal Weapon. Okay, so I was right in my head. Thank you, Sheldon. Richard Donner directed Lethal Weapon, and that's what he had said that before in an interview. I don't know where I read it, but that's always resonated with me when I'm telling stories. Like, keep those people entertained. You know, you want to give them the roller coaster ride of emotions, be up and down, but you want something to grab them every 10 minutes or so. Every so many pages, you want something happening that's going to capture them and keep them interested, and not just story beat after story beat or people sitting around talking. And this was too much of that. So for that, it gets a 5. Oh, the art, it probably would get like a 4, but the art carries it to a 5 for me.
I think Neil Adams, or it was Kirby, could have been Kirby, said like every 4 to 7 pages, like action and change of scene. Like
There you
Rob, on his Observations podcast, maybe over the summer,
Maybe that's
kind of
where I
went
heard
through that. You know, through is this why we're doing this fun? Anyway, yeah.
Maybe that's where I heard it from then, because that sounds similar. So I might be conflating things, you know. But yeah,
But it still holds up.
it holds up.
Yeah,
The message, yeah,
yeah.
regardless of where it came from, the message holds up, and then this book just didn't have it. So it gets a solid 5. It's not a recommend because I think it's got to be like an 8 for me to recommend a book.
Oh,
so
that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
to me, what?
let's do 7 because we are recommended Hush too, kind of, sort of.
That's true.
Because you are, and I'm not. Because I've been on the 7s. Well, I was on the 8 for the last one, but
I think Hush kind of gets grandfathered in
because of Jim Lee and Jeff
because
Loeb.
it's Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb, and you know that the quality is there, even if the book isn't, you know, so that's kind of like a stick around. Well, you know, like the potential quality, the potential quality of the creative team is there. So that's kind of more of like a stick around because I think it's going to be, but I honestly do like the story in Hush too. Especially after issue 159. Like I really do. And 158 is coming out here on the 28th. And we'll probably be checking it out there the next day.
No.
So let me look at the calendar.
Never mind, because next week we're off, I believe.
Yeah, and then the 22nd is the 5
with Patrick. No, the 22nd is the 5-year anniversary.
5 year. Yeah, 22nd is our 5-year anniversary.
And then
the 29th is with Patrick.
Yeah, which we're going to be doing
Battle Beast
with.
Yeah.
But if we can do,
well, maybe we just have to do another special show on that Wednesday. We might just have to do it the day before on the 28th when Batman 160 comes out. So we might just have to do that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll probably end up doing that, but I forgot we were doing the Battle Beast on the 29th. Anyway, that's scheduling for later. As you guys heard, though, we are off next week, and then the week after that is our 5-year anniversary for Ott and Stuff, episode 250. So tune in for that. Should be fun. We're gonna have some guests on, shoot the shit. You know, it can be a little bit different of a format than we've been doing. We'll find some things to look at.
It'll be good stuff.
Yeah, as we've been doing, but it's gonna be much more kind of hang out and let's just celebrate the fact that we've been able to do this for 5 years, which is amazing when you think about it. We started this in 2020, like January of 2020, I think. Early on, was it May?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, May of 2020.
Because we're in May.
Oh yeah, duh. Sean's the one that keeps track of all the anniversaries and stuff. I'm the one that forgets in this relationship. All right. I'm not seeing the chat give me any of their ratings, so we'll just consider that everyone thinks it's bad that they don't care.
Yeah.
5 all around, not recommend. But you know what? You do you if you like it. We do have we're gonna go over type 1 real quick. As you guys know, we've been here before.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rattlesnake. If you didn't like what you just saw, like you're gonna love what you're getting here. Action adventure with real life implications that faces off against terrorists in the past. We have the 9 Lords of the Night. We have Anunnaki. We have Sasquatches. We got Lycan. We got all sorts of cool creatures. We got living armor sentient beings. We will introduce armor hunters. We have a smorgasbord of awesome covers by some very talented friends of mine.
Yes.
If you haven't yet, don't be a bum. Back type 1, $10 away from 10K. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. Dan, I'm going to send him a batch of pages next week. Then he will be working on a batch of pages. I am 8 pages away from being completed on my end, so we're getting there. I am looking to hopefully get it to the printers sometime in July, August-ish. I really want to shoot for end of July.
Awesome.
And hopefully get everybody's in the hands by September, October-ish, realistically, if that's how it goes. But yeah. So we're getting there. We're very, very close. Very close. So excited.
This book is getting there. It's $10 away from hitting 10K collectively.
Yeah,
on the platforms
as well. Yep, we have an exclusive Dan doll cover on Fun My Comics. So yeah, whatever platform you choose, and we're going to be redoing the campaign looking wise in a couple of weeks as well. So we'll figure it out. We're working on it. Shit just happens, life happens, and we're taking it day by day.
I was just gonna say, we're working on us. We'll figure some stuff out for sure.
Super chat, motherfucker.
Oh shit! Wyatt Eastman, our guy, said get
man.
Ryan Otley on the show. Needs to happen.
I would love to.
I would love to talk to Ryan.
To talk to Ryan.
I want to say that I've reached out to him before, like a few years back, and never had a reply. So sometimes people get back to you, and sometimes they don't. But I would absolutely love to get him on the show.
Huge.
So
fan.
I might try again. I know that we're excited about Battle Beast.
Over 400,000 units.
Yeah. I don't know what the final number was, but that pushed some numbers.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. I'd be interested because Batman 158 Hush 2 did over 400,000 as well, but that had like 18 covers. So I want to know like how many covers did Battle Beast have, because that's impressive if it's just like 1, 2, 3 covers or something like that. And they're pulling that number. So
and what were they doing to entice the shops to order them? Because like DC had like buy 25 for basically $1 or so less, stacks if you order. So kind of cooking the books, but still selling, still getting those sales, which is more important for the shops.
I think right now what's good is you have the popularity of the Invincible comic, you have the popularity of the Invincible TV show, and now you have the next iteration. Since they're not making Invincible books anymore, you have the next iteration of Invincible Universe with Battle Beast. And I think that's probably driving a lot of excitement. Plus, it's a popular character. So we will be diving into that, like I said, on the 29th with Patrick Blame, who's a fantastic artist. He worked for Image for years, and so he's got his own book and stuff coming out. So that'll be fun to look at that with him. But we're definitely going to do that here at the end of the month. But Wyatt, for that $2, I just like the classics. Let's go.
Dr. Fishy! No!
You see,
Also, a couple comments I did not see in here. Baz 1500 says the Cape is cool. The Peacemakers as an army is cool. That was a cool concept. Yep, cool concept. Wiley J Draws says you should have skipped this one and done a Jackson Juice retrospective. Is it Geis? Not Beetlejuice. I was actually not. I'm going to be 100% honest. I did not know who the dude was. That's just me. Sean did, but it's, I'm sure I've seen his work before. But rest in peace. Rest in peace. It was sad. It's always sad when a member of the community passes away. For sure. Who else? I missed everybody. Jolly. What's going on, man? Jolly 12 said, hey guys, I read the first 3 issues. I'm enjoying it. Nice. Okay. Let me ask you a question then, Jolly, since you're enjoying it. Does the story pick well, yeah. Does the story pick up, from this issue? Because the thing that Sean and I both have an issue with is that it was slow paced as far as the storytelling goes. And I'm kind of wondering now. I know from that one issue that was revealed, which I thought was really cool, where they got into more of the trip, like after they escaped the planet. Spoilers, everybody. They escaped together as a family instead of just Kal-El being sent out like traditionally as a baby, or even with Crypto. They escape together, and then there's issues they deal with as they're traversing, the cosmos and stuff. And that kind of seemed cool. So yeah, if you're still watching the show, let us know. Okay, nice. Well, definitely let us know what's going on. I don't mind revisiting some of this stuff if the chat says, hey, this actually got good. Check it out. I don't mind revisiting it at some point. As of right now, though, it didn't do enough from just first read of me and Sean to go forward and want to see what's going on with the rest of this. So, what are you saying, Jolly? I heard it's a slow burn up through issue 7. Some reviewers are getting impatient, and see that's the thing. Not everybody likes a slow burn storytelling. I like it to a point on TV series, but it's got to pick up at some point. That's the thing about, I mentioned earlier about Andor. The thing about Andor is it's so damn slow that it's hard for me to get into. It's the same thing with the first season, where like half the season was so slow, like a snail crawl. And then it picked up and it got more dramatic, more suspense, in scenes, and it made it more interesting. And I started watching season 2, and it's the same thing. The first 3 episodes is just like after the opening scene, slows to a crawl. And so I don't know. Yes, Geiger, we need to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm with that.
I know I've got Geiger issue 1 here somewhere, but we can definitely, we need to do some of the what's that company, the Ghost Machine.
Yeah,
because I know Rook.
Yep. That one I would like to look at first.
Yeah,
the Fabak one.
Yeah, Fabak. Yeah, I'd rather start with Fabak because we like his art.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the guy who's
Gary Frank.
Gary Frank. I love it. Yeah, I love his art.
Yeah.
But I'd rather look at Fabak's first. But yeah, this definitely should be on the list for us to check out.
The Hitch one I'm not into because
who did that? Hitch. I
don't
know.
But...
And don't. I don't know if I've seen that. I just know Geiger and I know Rook, however you pronounce it. The other ones, I'm not quite sure.
There's a Rockefeller family one based by Francis Manipool.
Oh yeah, that
I don't know if that's your alley.
Really? That's not.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's not up my alley at all.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I'm just like, nah.
I'll check that out on myself, but yeah, like that, I don't see us doing on this show.
You guys have to check out Geiger and Rook. Exodus first Rook trade is in the stores. Must read.
I got a couple.
I've got 5 issues.
Geigers.
Yeah. I've got the first 5 issues of Rook, and I've got, I think, the first 2 issues of Geiger when it first came out.
I
haven't really read them though. Rook is amazing. Rockefellers is a snooze. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Like the slow burn. I got you. Tell you what, guys, this is what we'll do. If you want us to review a specific book, whether it's something we like or not, you have to request it with a $20 super chat. Money will get
money will buy everything.
Money will buy everything, right?
Yeah.
So you want us to review a book that we're not excited about, we will go out I will buy it. We will review it on the channel, but it has to be attached to a $20 super chat. Otherwise, yeah, some of this stuff we'll just naturally get to anyway because we've wanted to anyway. And we got a long list, people. We got a long list of stuff that we want to get through. Trust us. Yes, Fabok he's the writer, right? Writer and artist. Isn't he?
I don't know.
That's like
I know
his
he's
book.
the artist. Well, I thought Jeff Johns was, but I don't know. I don't know. I
That
got it
might be-
upstairs.
maybe
I
that's
gotta
right.
go check.
Maybe that, yeah. Okay. Rockefeller is like sitting around and talking to grandma and playing with a puppy snooze, no action. Yeah, see, that would not be up our. That's kind of like what was bad about this book, is it was just not enough action. We're action guys. I firmly believe that comics should be action based. It can be dramatic, it can be horror, whatever, but you have to have some kind of visual stimulation of action. It can't just be a bunch of storytelling sitting around doing nothing. And that was one of our issues with Absolute Superman #1. So okay, all right. So that's what I thought. It is Baybox book just written by Jeff Johns. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jolly. Appreciate you, man. Johns is the writer. And I do like Jeff Johns.
Love Jeff Johns.
I would like to get into doing the Three Jokers at some point.
Oh yeah. I still haven't read that.
It's long because it's like what, 5 issues, and every issue is like 30 some odd pages or something like that.
That's bearable.
It's not bad. It's in the perfect bound kind of prestige format or whatever you want to call them. It's interesting. It's got an interesting story. I like how they tied up all the Jokers together and the concepts behind stuff. And I think that Johns gets Batman just like Johns gets Superman. And I think
he gets just about everybody. I think he's a phenomenal writer. I think, I'm a fan. I have nothing but good things to say about Jeff Johns.
Yeah, he's up there, one of my favorite writers, even though I haven't read a ton of his stuff. Like and again, when I say favorite writers, it doesn't mean I have a collection of all their things. It's just the stuff that I've read, I've liked. Like Jeff Johns or Jeff Loeb is my favorite because of the things I've gotten into with the artists he's worked with, top notch. Jeff Johns is probably right up there with a couple other. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but I say Claremont because Claremont's just the GOAT, but
yeah,
he's lower on my list as far as when I'm thinking of my favorite stuff. Don't Tell Kayla. Kirkman's all right, I guess. There's who's stuck out to me that I like writing. Oh, I don't know. No. Did you guys review Dale Keown's Hulk run? We haven't. And see, here's the thing. Like some of the stuff I would rather do on Akba if we're going to do long runs of things, because then we're just primarily looking at art. This show, we're trying to do a little bit more looking at like the story, which is why we do like one issue at a time, unless you're doing something like Hush, where we were getting you ready, and that was a lot of books. So we broke that up to like, what would we do? 3 books per 4 episodes. So this show on ANS is a little bit more, let's do one book, let's review it, let's kind of like what we do with the Spawn review. But if we're going to do long runs of artists that we like, that's more of like an Akba kind of thing.
We could do it because there are, 2 to 3 issue runs. Like one of my favorite issues is 273 and 74, I believe. It's when Grey Hulk fights the Super Skrull. 2 issues.
Don't remember that.
Oh my god!
Phenomenal. I feel like I've got most of Dale's run.
I bet you do. Yeah, I bet you do.
But I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Huh. Twisted Dream says I've tried to read 3 Jokers. It can't hold me. It's like I said, it's long. There's a lot of story in it. Not as much action, a lot of story. But I remember liking it when I read it. Geiger don't care if you review it, but it needs to be read. Yes. We'll probably do it at some point. All right, guys, we're going to jump out of here. Sunday, 8 p.m., the Ronan Joe Show will return. Got a lot of things actually popped up this week to talk about. So,
like what?
Things and stuff. I've got an idea. I've got a loose idea. I haven't dove in yet and done all the research.
But stuff happened.
It's a pop culture show. The things that happen between Sunday and Sunday,
popped.
Yeah, it's popped, and then I'll just throw it in there. We'll talk about it, So That's all. That's all that is. Shoot the shit. Join me at 8 p.m. Sunday for the Ronan Joe show. Monday 9, or actually no, Tuesday.
Tuesday 8.
We are moving the Spawn review to Tuesday 8 p.m. So I forgot to make that announcement on social media, so you guys are hearing it here for the first time. Spawn review moving to Tuesday 8 p.m. We're gonna look at something cool. I can't figure out if we had talked about it or not, but we'll be there and then be back here 2 weeks from today, because we're off next week on Hot and Stuff. 2 weeks from today for our 5-year anniversary, 250th episode. We're going to look at some cool shit. We'll have some fun people on, the people we hang out with. It's going to be fun. We're going to do what we can do. Super chats will get somebody naked. That's all I got to say. We'll figure that out as we go. Probably Zach, if he's there. We'll find out. All right, guys. He does. All right. Thank you for joining us, guys. You've been awesome as always, chat. We appreciate you. We wouldn't do this if you guys weren't watching us, because no, actually we probably would, because we enjoy just hanging out. But you guys make it a lot better. So thank you so much. We're going to get out of here. As I say, be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.